According to the International Diabetes Federation, 232 million people around the world are currently living with diabetes, and they have no idea. Not because the disease is invisible, but because the signs it sends years before a diagnosis look almost nothing like what most people expect diabetes to look like. No dramatic symptoms, no sudden collapse, just quiet signals the body sends again and again that most people dismiss as aging, stress, or something minor. This video is about those signals, and by the end of it, you will know exactly what to look for in yourself and in the people you love. Most people believe that diabetes announces itself loudly, that one morning you will know. The reality is completely different. Type 2 diabetes, the kind that affects the vast majority of people, develops across years, sometimes decades. And in that entire window, the body is whispering. The whispers sound like this: feeling thirsty more often than you used to, getting up once or twice in the night to use the bathroom, a patch of darker skin on the back of your neck you assumed was a shadow or needed scrubbing, a cut on your foot that took far longer to heal than it should have, blurry vision that comes and goes, so you figured it was tired eyes. Each of these alone feels explainable. Stress, age, not enough water, too much screen time. But your body was not being vague. It was being precise. It was pointing to a single underlying problem, building quietly in the background for years. Here is what that problem actually is, and why catching it early changes everything. Before diabetes is diagnosed, there is a condition that precedes it, often by a decade or more. It is called insulin resistance. Here is what that means in plain language. Every time you eat, your body releases insulin, a hormone whose job is to escort glucose from your blood into your cells. Glucose is energy. Your body needs it. But when the cells have been overexposed to insulin for years, they start ignoring it. Like a signal that has been sent too many times, they stop responding. So the glucose stays in the blood. The pancreas produces more insulin to compensate, and your blood sugar begins climbing, slowly, quietly, over years. Research published in the journal Diabetes Care confirmed that insulin resistance can be present for 10 to 15 years before a type 2 diabetes diagnosis is made. 10 to 15 years of your body sending signals. 10 to 15 years of those signals being missed. What are those signals? Here are 5 of them, and the reason most people never connect them to blood sugar. Have you ever noticed a darkened patch of skin on the back of your neck, your armpit, or along your inner thigh? A patch that looks almost velvety, slightly darker than the skin around it. You may have tried scrubbing it away. You may have assumed it was a tan line, a shadow, or just your skin. It has a name: acanthosis nigricans, and it is one of the most reliable visible signals of insulin resistance in the body. When insulin levels in the blood run persistently high, they stimulate skin cells to multiply faster than normal. The result is that thickened, darkened patch of skin. Your body printed the warning directly onto your skin. If you have noticed this and dismissed it, look again. It deserves a conversation with your doctor. Sign 2. Waking at night to urinate and thinking nothing of it. Most people over 45 accept nighttime bathroom trips as normal. Sometimes they are, but here is when they are not. When blood sugar runs elevated, the kidneys work harder. They pull extra fluid from the body to flush the excess glucose out through urine. Your body is literally attempting to drain the sugar out. The result: you produce more urine, more frequently, including through the night. If you are getting up once or twice nightly with a persistent thirst that doesn't feel quite quenched, that combination is not your bladder getting older. That is your kidneys doing emergency overtime. The action here is simple. Note the pattern. If thirst and nighttime urination are consistent over 2 or more weeks, get a fasting blood glucose test. It is one of the simplest, most affordable tests available, and it tells you exactly where you stand. Sign 3. The cut that would not heal. Think back. Have you had a cut, a scrape, or a small wound recently that took noticeably longer than expected to heal? Not a serious injury, a minor cut, a blister, a small graze. When blood sugar is persistently elevated, it damages the walls of the small blood vessels that carry nutrients to the skin. It also blunts the immune response that manages infection and repair. The result, your body's healing system moves in slow motion. A cut that should close in 3 days takes 2 weeks. A blister that should resolve quietly becomes inflamed. Most people file this under bad luck or getting older. But slow wound healing, especially on the lower legs and feet, is a documented early marker of blood sugar dysregulation. Your body was trying to show you something. Sign 4. Blurred vision that comes and goes. This one is almost always misread. People book an optician appointment. They get new glasses. The vision improves slightly, then blurs again. They figure their eyes are just getting worse with age. Here is what is actually happening. Elevated blood sugar changes the fluid levels inside the lens of the eye. As the fluid shifts, the shape of the lens changes. And as the lens shape changes, your focus shifts with it. This is not permanent eye damage. Not at this stage. It is reversible. It is your body's optics responding in real time to fluctuating blood sugar. If your vision blurs at certain times of day, particularly after meals, and then clears again, that pattern matters. Write it down. Mention it at your next appointment. Don't let it disappear quietly into the pile of things you meant to get checked. Sign 5. Feeling exhausted after eating. Not sleepy, not comfortable, specifically exhausted. That heavy, foggy, barely functional feeling that arrives 30 to 60 minutes after a meal, especially after carbohydrates, and makes the next hour feel almost impossible to move through. Most people call this a food coma. They laugh it off. Reach for coffee. What is actually happening is that the body released a large spike of insulin to address the incoming glucose. But if the cells are resistant, the glucose stays in the blood. The cells get no fuel, and you crash. A study published in Nature Metabolism found that blood sugar spikes and crashes after meals are one of the earliest detectable patterns in people progressing toward insulin resistance. The most powerful action you can take today: eat your next meal differently. Start with vegetables or protein before carbohydrates. That single change blunts the glucose spike significantly. You will feel the difference in your energy within days. Think about someone who spent years noticing these signs: the dark patch on the neck, the slow healing cuts, the blurry mornings, the after-meal crash. Each one explained away. Each one filed under getting older, until the day a routine blood test returned a number they weren't prepared for. And the doctor said, "You have had this for a while." That is not a story about bad luck. That is a story about signals that were never decoded. Because here is what is also true. Type 2 diabetes caught in the insulin resistance stage is largely reversible. With the right information, the right adjustments, the right conversations started early enough. The 5 signs in this video are not a sentence. They are an invitation to pay attention before the story reaches a chapter that is harder to rewrite. Check your neck, note your nights, watch your meals, pay attention to your healing. Trust your eyes when they tell you something has shifted. Your body is not failing you. It is communicating with you. And now you speak a little more of its language. 232 million people do not know, but you do now. Ask yourself this not with fear, but with honesty. How many of those 5 signs have you noticed and quietly let pass? That question is worth sitting with and worth acting on. If this gave you something real today, something that made you look at your body differently, subscribe to the Health Code. Because this is what we do here. We translate what your body has been trying to tell you into language you can actually use.